Okay, oh my gosh, more people. Are you still with me, guys? Okay. A cadence is an organization of melody and harmony in time, having the sense of a rest. The cadence is created harmonically through a pattern of chords and melodically through the direction of each voice. Cadential breathing places may occur at the ends of phrases and sections and finally at the end of a piece. Under certain formal conditions, however, the final cadence may find that a prominent subject in a different key has made a bid for the new tonality, causing a cadence of two or more simultaneous keys. Regardless of the complexity or inversions of your chords at the end, the two final roots will set the quality of the cadential feeling. The first chord in a two-chord cadence progresses perfectly, cleanly to a tonic whose root lies at an interval of the existing cyclical relation below its own. Okay, that sounds complicated, but it's not. So it means if you're writing in fifth relationships, then the second one to have a feeling of resolution is going to go to a root that exists a fifth below. If you're writing in thirds, then it's going to move to a root a third below. If you're writing in seconds, it moves to a root a second below. Okay? The plagal equivalents are the same, 4-1, 6-1, or 7-1. Remember I mentioned that earlier? Right? So these are all equivalent, dominant movements and subdominant movements. A cadence may have a passive quality if the dissonant tone remains stationary. So if dissonance here doesn't resolve. Tension and relaxation of consonant and dissonance help create and mold cadential figures. However, a succession of chords can produce positive cadential finality only when the underlying rhythm confirms it. The rhythmic placement of the final chord affects the strength of the cadence. When the last chord falls on a weak beat, repeated notes, ties, or melodic ornamentation help to regain the balance of it. So, no matter what the chords are, if the rhythm establishes it, then you're going to feel like it ends. Here, the last note falls on a weak beat, right? But we're holding over like this, so it would, we would be able to feel the ending even if it's on a weak beat on this example as well. In chromatic cadences, in something like this situation, common tones are avoided to strengthen the final tonic. Brian, can you try this for us? What do you think? G flat there. Okay. The purpose of temporary cadences is to rest briefly on a harmonic point, thereby creating a need for harmonic, rhythmic, and melodic continuance. Deceptive cadences are usually of this type and imply motion from one chord to another whose root relationship forms an interval that's not characteristic, right? So 5 to 6, that's not characteristic of the finality. That's why we call it deceptive. In fifth relationships, the chord of the weaker impulse moves to a chord whose root lies a second above its own, like 5 to 6. In a third relationship, root movement is up a fifth, and in second relationships, root movement is up 3. So these are just deceptive cadences, avoidance of the tonic. Deceptive cadences, progressions can also be obtained through movement to a chord outside the established mode or key, or by chromatic root movement. Other cadences can be created by removing all the voices but one, and obliteration of all the voices except the percussion tone. When the final tonic establishes a positive tonality, notes may be added freely, and if the undertones are added, the tonic meaning is not disturbed. The final chord may be identical with the opening chord regardless of tonal relationships. So cadences may include any type of harmony. Tertian, thirds, fourth, added notes, second, secundal, polychordal, pandiatonic. We did not discuss that. This is a later chapter. That's when you use a diatonic scale without functional tonality. He's got a whole bit about that. Compound, mirror, or 12-tone. Any of these examples, will represent cadences.